Hello and welcome to the final stage of Victory or Valhalla, Stage 5, where we are racing for our own Aston Martin Valhalla concept. There's an awful lot of talking at the beginning of this video from all of these guys, but that'll be over really soon. We will get into this. As you may recall, I had to buy upgrades in Stage 4. Hopefully we don't have to buy any more, so I'm just going to leave that until the end of the video in case I have to buy more, and I'll just add it all up there. Let's get into the racing. Looks like we're at Mount Panorama, which is interesting. I thought maybe we'd be somewhere else with an English car, but that's okay. That's going to pose a challenge. This is a very challenging track because of all of the walls where we have the most corners. So when you're under PR, you really rely on corners for overtaking because you're not going to be able to overpower these guys in the straight sections because that's how bots work. They suck in the corners like we just saw. And then you have to contend with the Lotus Avaya. Thank you guys for helping me to pronounce that. And they're ridiculous on the straights, but they're not very good in the corners. So this gets really dicey, especially when they start adding stuff like you can't do the pit maneuver. They don't really say that, but they say you can't shove anyone off track. That also means you can't shove them into a wall. I mean, come on guys, get particular. Basically they mean don't touch the guy when you're overtaking him. You're most likely going to get a fail. Like, you can get away with a bit of tapping, but if he suddenly goes squirrely, you will fail. So here I am already in 10th place. I'm just going to create a bit of a pocket for myself, create a bit of a gap. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because I don't want to redo this stage, but you can see here I'm just creating a gap. I don't want anyone to surprise me from behind, and I don't need to pass anyone else. So I'm not going to do anything too crazy here. Love to slow down the race a little bit. Finishing in 10th place is great for bot management. No way you can slow down the bots at this point. You got to be at or above PR for that. So this should be over pretty soon as long as I don't have any horrible mistakes, which certainly can happen. Have to be maximizing these cars, and right now I don't have to, and I'm already catching up on these guys again. Yeah, so race 1, not difficult. I'm sure this is going to get crazy difficult after this. I'll let them catch up a bit. Uh-oh. That was a little bit too close. That Ivaya there, he just went ripping around me, but there we go. First race done. Let's get on to race 2 of stage 5. Average speed requirement. And what else do we have here? All the other fun stuff. I found this helped a little bit. I would quit and restart about 5 times because in some of these races, it's about the luck of the draw. Like, the bots are getting in different cars each time you restart. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I found that helped me a little bit as far as having a decent grouping of bots to contend with. Because I've got to get up here in, 7th place. And again, we're not allowed to run anyone off track or run them into a wall or really do much at all, which I don't really mind, honestly, because really what we're talking about here is actual racing, right? Like, in NASCAR, you're allowed to really rough people up. And that's cool, that's fun. But then in most other racing series, you can't go smashing people and overtake them. It's just not okay. So I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be a big complainer. It's a newer thing. And cool, we'll work with that. So this is kind of intense. Average speed, and you can't afford to be on the brakes much. So this race took me quite a few tries because sometimes getting around this section, there was accidents, there's things to contend with, and you can't afford to get heavy on the brakes because you got your average speed requirement and all that other jazz. So, by the way, the Valkyries, I mean, they're driving them horribly. This game does not know how to handle a Valkyrie. That's what I've noticed. I've noticed that in my endless endurance races. I just did a new video actually for the Valkyrie. The game can't handle cars like that. Same with the Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo, even the McLaren MP4X. They are really underutilized the braking ability. Oh, looks like we just have to get into position 8 because that's all I've got. Whoop boy, squirrely again. Okay, so sorry, I said 7. That's wrong. It's definitely position 8. There we go. Not all that difficult, honestly, so maybe you didn't have to do all that start and retry bit, but I did that. Here's the one where we got to get up to 7th place. Sorry, I mixed the two up there. And yes, I did do that silly little start resume trick again, just to see if it would make it any easier. Maybe, maybe not. Engine temperature, I don't like how they're doing this anymore. The way they used to do engine temperature is that it would build up, and then if you were coasting, it would go back down. That's reality. Like, when does the engine temperature only climb? When does that happen? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you turn off an engine, how is it going to keep getting hotter? Like, well, unless you're driving an electric vehicle with one of the batteries that keeps heating up until it explodes, which has been happening more often, but that's a side note. So the problem is, and here's the advice you need, is that the heat is only going to build. There's no way you can bring the heat down. So what I decided to do was, step one, hunt down 7th place. Get in 7th place. And once I'm in 7th place, then take it easy. And then relax a little bit and do some coasting and manage my place. But step one, I am going to fight to get myself into 7th place ASAP. And I think that's a Valhalla in front of me, isn't it? Sure it is. It's not a Valkyrie. Oops. No, that is a Valkyrie. Sorry, I didn't have a really good look at it yet. Okay, so that's actually perfect, because they drive those things horribly. So I can create a bit of distance now. I want to let the pack get away from me, but I got to be careful that I don't let an Avia or an Apollo get behind me. Because those guys are nuts with their acceleration, and they can just ruin your race right quick, if you know what I mean. Okay, so already I'm doing a little bit of coasting. I don't mind getting a push either. Getting the push is going to help with my engine temperature, because I'm getting more speed for the amount of heat that I am exerting. But I am now getting a pack gathering behind me, which is bad news. That's where you're heading into a corner, someone clips you, you do fine, but he runs into a wall and you fail. And that sucks, because you ran him into a wall. You ran him off track. No, I didn't. I'm defending my position. How is that me? But that's not how the game thinks. That's not how it can think. So, oh well. So you got to be careful. Just manage it as much as you can. Don't let the pack get too close. Here you can see I'm coasting. Didn't touch the brakes. A couple of corners now. And we'll just watch that distance. Take a look in your rear view once in a while. Like, if there's one car behind you, no big deal. If there's 2 or 3 or 4, you got to manage that. 2 cars is manageable. 3 or 4, no. If you get 3 or 4 right in your bumper, you're going down. Like, in a stage like this where you're not allowed to take damage and stuff like that. Okay, it's getting pretty close to my tail. I'm gonna power out here a little bit. Just one though, just one that was really close. So that's not too bad. I'm really worried about that engine temp. Gosh, I'm worried about that engine temperature. And I'm worried about how close this guy is to me. What is that? That's an Apollo, isn't it? I didn't get it's hard to tell. Pretty sure that's an Apollo for how he... Ooh, gosh! Okay, well, we're not flashing yet. When that starts flashing, you get like 3 flashes and you're dead. Okay, looks like I did it. Woohoo! So happy. Okay, let's see what we are facing in the next race. Alright, so there's a minimum lap time requirement, and you gotta get into 3rd place. Okay, I did that whole quit retry thing several times, and it did. For some reason, it does change the bots. Like, I would have 4 bots pretty close in front of me here. Well, not too much, but I could see them, and I could start catching them pretty quickly. However, that presented a problem. And the problem was I was getting a gaggle while I'm trying to do the uphill climb with all those walls, and it would make it really hard for me to keep my lap time up there, because I can't hit people. I can't even do a careful pit maneuver on people. None of that's allowed. So I've got my Avia right in front of me, and probably a Valhalla in front of him, which is fine. That's going to help to slow down the Avia so I can pass him, but it's really hard to do right here. So I've got to hope. This took me so many tries, because I'd be going along the Avia and the Valhalla would get together, and then I'd end up plowing into the Valhalla or the Avia as they're coming off the wall, and it's just like, woo, like, look at that. What's going on? Now I gotta be super careful. Clean pass. Well, I'm going super fast. Like, I'm capable of really good lap times. By the way, like I said, the guys driving these Valkyries are just stupid. Sorry, I'm frustrated. Like, what are you doing? Why are you braking that way in a Valkyrie at that turn? Man. Okay, 3rd place. Nowhere in sight. That's okay. Don't worry about it, because like I said, I did this race a whole bunch of times. There's going to be another pack coming up here. So now you got to really focus. You got to really focus and do as good as you can. You can brake late in this thing repeatedly. Like on your left-hand side, I'm not braking till that rumble strip's getting beside me. The curb, red-white curb. Pretty much. Well, I brake maybe a car length before I'm right parallel with it. Yeah, parallel with it. And power, power, power. So there you go. You see what I'm talking about? There's a bit of a gaggle. So you've got this mixture, right? You've got Avias, you've got Apollos, you've got Valhallas, and you've got Valkyries. And some of these guys, like Chip, can't drive. Like, what are you doing, Chip? You're in a Valkyrie. Why was I catching you? This is ridiculous. Chip does not know how to drive. I mean, that's what I'm finding out. Chip is just a horrible driver. But at this point, I'm thankful for it because I need to get third place. So thank you, Chip, for not knowing how to handle that car. I guess you're a crew chief and not a driver, and that's just fine. Or the principal if you're from another racing circuit, but whatever. So here we go. I'm comfortably in third place. There's really no reason to let up at all because, of course, I've got to make 126. So you're in third place regardless. So there's no bot management here. I could let Chip catch up, but I'm not going to do that. I need to finish this in time, and I took so many tries at this particular race before I figured it out. Other people might have got it their first try because they got a nice arrangement of bots, and no one crashed, and nothing horribly wrong happened. So let's see here. That's pretty good. Actually, I'm really happy with that lap time. I'm pretty impressed by that. Huh. Okay. That one's in the bag. Now, this is going to have to get worse, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure. It just gets worse. 10 million? Seriously? Top 2 positions. Oh, goody, goody gosh. Okay, strategy time, guys. You ready for this? Get past Chip as absolutely fast as you can. Do not waste any time trying to push him. He's stupid when it comes to racing. He makes me angry. Sorry, I'm being a little bit harsh. You need to get up here to Ahmed as fast as possible and brake check him until Chip figures out he can pass. Sorry, I'm frustrated. I don't know how many tries I did on this race. Like, I think I spent maybe an hour on just this race trying to get this all sorted out and make it happen. One of my attempts, there's Chip and I. We're rounding the very last corner, and I think maybe I can pass Chip because he'll brake at a reasonable time and then I can power around him. Oh no, Chip has no idea how to handle a Valkyrie. He pounds on the brakes way too early and I smash into him. Yay, thanks Chip. Anyhow, at this point, I don't care if I win. I just want to finish the race. So I'm just going to do my best. I'd still like to arrange it so I can win. Okay, so Ahmed, I'd like to get under you now. Perfect, this is perfect. Now, I got to do some serious brake checking. Carefully, I got to set this up because that Apollo's got insane acceleration and he wants to use it. So I got to brake check him. Come on, Chip, where are you? Like, what's wrong with you? Well, okay, fine. Ahmed's weaving back and forth. I lost it. I couldn't hold him any longer because I was going to get the pit maneuver done to me. There's Chip, finally. Okay, no problem. I'll get around Ahmed again. Brake check him again. Come on, Chip. Figure out how to pass. Come on, Chip. Ahmed's not going too crazy. Can you figure this out? Gosh, what's wrong with this guy? There he is. Okay, thank you, Chippity Chip. Now I need to keep braking Ahmed, keep brake checking Ahmed, and then that's fine, right? We can just finish this off. Heavy brake checking on Ahmed. What's going? Oh, just great. Now I've released Magnus and his Avia. I didn't know. Silly me. For some reason I thought that just the 3 of us were in the race, but of course not. It's a full field. Great. Now I have Ahmed on my bumper and Magnus taking off trying to hunt down Chip, and Chip's a moron in a car. Okay. Well, I better just buckle down. Oh, that's fun. Let's drift a corner. That doesn't waste any time at all. Okay. Well, guys, this is a little bit difficult. You can tell I got a little bit rattled. We're going to do this. I'm going to hunt down Magnus. I really wish I could smack him, but I'm not allowed to, so I won't. Let's see. Now, these Avias are bad at the top of the mountain. Let's see, is he bad? Okay, I need to get a clean overtake. Oh, gosh. Okay. I didn't fail, so obviously I didn't get damaged. Can I do anything here? No. Okay, and he's going to take off. Okay. I've got a chicane and a final corner to deal with. And I've got Ahmed on my bumper. Oh, no stress at all. There's no pressure at all here. Ahmed's trying to overtake me, and Magnus disappeared. Okay, guys, this is going to be a final corner overtake. That's just how this is going to work. I have to be careful, no contact. Look at that! Oh, good. I got beside him and he gave it up, because that's bot programming. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, I'm done. That's very, very good. Let's get into the finale here. I'll show you my upgrades. I didn't add anything at all for today, so it's 1331311. As you can see, the cost of that, about 1.4 million R dollars, 295 gold. Guys, that's a steal of a deal for a car this amazing, okay? So that's nothing I'd be complaining about. A car that cost 1150 gold, steal of a deal. So please like, please subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Check out some other videos and race you later.